The following is a DW Ancient Egypt production. From its very creation, the Egyptian state required a bureaucracy that at a minimum kept track of the resources owed to the center of power. Many preserved documents from the entire ancient history of the country deal with this issue. Some of the first records we have are bureaucratic. Objects from the tombs at Abydos contained sealings with indications where they came from. We have to assume that in all periods, and especially when the country was unified, a large administration existed. At the same time, it is clear over the long period that ancient Egypt existed, many changes took place. We can see certain basic patterns, however. The pharaoh was at the center of the administration, and state resources were for the king to collect and distribute. In order to facilitate work, different departments existed. For example, the treasury, agricultural, and labor departments. The titles of the officials who headed these departments changed little over the centuries. They dealt with all the assets of the state goods, produce, and manpower. They supervised the collection of dues and labor and their allotment for varied purposes. The large country was divided into provinces, which we designate with the term nome. By the 5th dynasty, Upper Egypt was divided into 22 nomes, while the systemization of Lower Egyptian nomes is clear to us only late in Egyptian history. Nomarchs ideally represented the king's interests, but in intermediate periods they gained much independence. The huge central bureaucracy had many levels. Throughout Egyptian history, a vizier acted as second in command to the king. In some periods, 2 viziers shared numerous tasks. It is always difficult for us to determine what the administrators did. The titles themselves do not indicate it, but many officials combined various titles and accumulated several responsibilities. Along the central administration existed temple and military administrations, each with their ranks and tasks. The latter is totally unknown from Old Kingdom records. Egypt's bureaucracy was so large that it represented a burden when the state was weak. Its participants not only received rewards in life, but the king also gave many the resources to build a lavish tomb and support a mortuary cult that ideally would last forever.